This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 162. Is a Costco membership worth the cost? By Mr. Money Mustache of MrMoneyMustache.com.
Get ready to maximize your potential with Optimal Finance Daily, the podcast that brings you the best content in personal finance 5 days a week. Your optimal life awaits. Now here's your host, Dan Warren.
Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to Optimal Finance Daily for this Tuesday. This is, of course, where I read to you from some of the best personal finance blogs on the planet. And today's post is all about Costco. Is it worth the cost? And I know my wife's going to be listening to this one. We have a Costco membership, so I'm interested to hear what Mr. Money Mustache says about this. But before we get into that, really quickly, I mentioned yesterday that we're doing something a little bit special this week. We're doing an extra random giveaway of the 4-Hour Work Week, a best-selling book by Tim Ferriss. But there's a special task that we're asking you to do to participate. To get all the instructions, just make sure that you're on our mailing list before this Friday, because that's when the email is going to be sent out. You can also text the word financial to the number 44222 for a quicker way to join. That's the word financial to 44222, or stop by oldpodcast.com and put your email address in there, and I will give you a little reminder about this at the end of the show as well. Now let's get to today's post and start optimizing your life. Is a Costco membership worth the cost? By Mr. Money Mustache of MrMoneyMustache.com. Last week, I had a chance to indulge my usually suppressed consumer instinct and buy a whole bunch of stuff at Costco. The nearest outlet of that chain is about 20 miles away from my house in a mostly sprawl area called Superior, Colorado. If you know Mr. Money Mustache at all, you know that I would never drive that far just for a shopping trip. So I always wait until I have other business in the towns nearby, such as Boulder. As a result, I usually get to Costco about once every 3 to 6 months, and when I do, I acquire a hatchback-busting $400 load of groceries and any other necessities that happen to be available at unusually low prices at the time. Now, a Costco membership costs $50 per year, and expanding a nearby errand does still add some extra driving to my trip, which would not otherwise be necessary since I get all my other groceries using a bike trailer. Am I fooling myself with this membership, or is it actually a good investment of my time and money? To find out, I have conducted a top-secret multi-store intercity investigation just for you. I walked through endless aisles, took candid photos on my telephone, jotted down notes on scraps of paper, and then spent countless minutes typing all the results into a spreadsheet to figure out the real deal. So, now, let's go line by line through my latest Costco receipt and compare the cost for equivalent food from my local Safeway. You can see all of my purchases, judge for yourself whether or not they are practical or silly, and at the end we'll see how much I saved or wasted on the trip. Total Costco cost, $401.48. Total Safeway cost, $690.67. Costco savings, $283.16. So I'm calculating this for the first time as I write the blog post, so my first reaction is, holy shit, my Costco habit is even more useful than I had been assuming. Comparing the $401 Costco bill to a potential $690 Safeway bill means that I'm saving 41% over the lowest prices I could find at Safeway, and this is over a huge swath of groceries. After subtracting the membership cost, I probably still save close to $1,000 per year. All of these things are food that we actually eat and use up completely, so there is no need to factor in waste. I've been buying basically the same staples for years. The exact list varies slightly, as some of my staples hadn't run out yet and thus do not appear on this list, and some of the things I bought this week will still be around and won't need replenishing when I returned in December. Of course, Costco isn't entirely comprised of great deals. You still have to watch yourself and know how to spot good values and avoid poor ones. There are always a few traps laid around the store. Some things are ridiculously overpriced. A 2-pack of 6-foot HDMI cables for your computer or TV for $38.99? The correct value of a 6-foot HDMI cable is about $2, and there are dozens to choose from on Amazon. My computer monitor is getting the signal I'm seeing right now from one of those very cables and works perfectly. Other products are fairly priced but stupid, like a stainless steel electric turkey fryer with carbon filter and digital temperature controls for $138.99. WTF. The hardware and tools section is very well priced, although the selection is minimal. Last year I bought a Fat Max rolling tool chest for my carpentry business. It cost $80 at Home Depot, but Costco had them at $30. I also noticed that the size of car battery that fits my car is available at Costco for $68. I just paid $102 for the same model at AutoZone. And still other products are tempting and well-priced, like a fancy digital weather station that measures wind and rain and connects to your computer and publishes your stats on the internet for $80, but yet completely frivolous and unnecessary because you can find out all the weather parameters you need by looking at the internet reported values from your neighbor's digital weather station. Overall, the ultimate value of Costco from a Mustachian perspective is this: drastically lower prices on many high-quality grocery staples. You just can't go wrong from a frugality sense cooking your way through a 50-pound bag of rice that cost you only $18. Their prices are remarkably consistent around the country, so if you can get to a Costco, you can make grocery shopping in California almost as cheap as eating in Alabama. If you're having trouble getting your own grocery costs equal to or lower than mine, $75 a week for a family of 3, even with plenty of luxuries like coffee and organic meat and fish thrown in, you might want to compare your own food prices to those in this article. You just listened to the post titled, "Is a Costco Membership Worth the Cost?" by Mr. Money Mustache of MrMoneyMustache.com. And just a little note, Mr. Money Mustache actually did list all of his groceries line by line, but that wouldn't make for such great audio for you, so I simply gave you the total. If you want to see each line, of course, you can check out his article, which is linked over on our site, oldpodcast.com. And while you're there, we're doing a special mid-month giveaway, as I mentioned at the top of the show, and the giveaway is of the popular book, The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. And this is going out to a random person who does one little thing for us. We're asking you to tweet at Tim Ferriss and us in just one tweet this Friday, asking him for permission to have his blog read on this podcast. We'll have complete and very simple instructions sent out to you on Friday morning. So if you want to have a chance to win this book, which is really, really interesting, by the way, just make sure that you're on our mailing list before Friday. You can join really quickly by texting the word financial to the number 44222, or again, come by oldpodcast.com and simply enter your email address there. Now, the whole goal of this is simply to get Tim Ferriss's attention and hopefully his permission to bring you some more great content. And that's going to do it for another edition of Optimal Finance Daily. Tomorrow we'll be hearing from Steve Pavlina, so I'll see you there where your optimal life awaits.
Hello, Life Optimizer. This is Justin Malik, creator and producer of this podcast, but also Optimal Living Daily, the show where I read to you from even more blogs covering finance, productivity, minimalism, personal development, and more from incredible bloggers like Derek Sivers, Zen Habits, Mark and Angel, The Minimalists, and all the ones you hear on this show too. So if you enjoyed today's episode and like taking amazing blogs on the go, come on over to Optimal Living Daily and subscribe to that one too. And together, we'll start optimizing your life.
You've been listening to Optimal Finance Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode and head to oldpodcast.com. That's OLDpodcast.com for a free gift as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.